Hello and welcome all to the VTOL VR, the F-45 series. This time we are going to tackle the third quick or stock mission within these out of these five. Of course, free flight we won't be doing, or the carrier landing practice, because we covered the carrier landing practice in many of the other missions. So we'll stick to these three. Today is, as I said, the Bay Assault, to attack high value targets in an attack on enemy territory. Before we go in, there is something new in this video. Based on the feedback I got on the YouTube, where the basically the VR mirror was very difficult to watch on YouTube, there is a challenge of displaying the VR feed onto the flat screen. There is no mistake about it. I've seen so many other issues on the YouTube as well. So what I did this time is I ditched the VR mirror completely, and I'm using the feed. I'm using the smooth camera for the VTOL feed, which is basically in cockpit 60-degree of view. So I think it should provide for a smoother graphics and a smoother head movement. So let's see how that goes. So Bay Assault, it is a mission consisted of 4 parts. One part is to deal with the artillery, which is shooting our fleet. This will be the first target. The second one is also to deal with the bombers taking off from an airbase, which is slightly to the west of where we are. Also, we need to find the 4 stealth fighters, and also destroy the command bunkers. You can see the 2 of them next to these tents, which is close to the airports of the bombers. So these are the 4 targets. There are other planes in the air, so some objectives might solve themselves, basically, or others will solve them. I hope that this will not be the case, so you can see me tackle all 4 of these different targets. So let's go into the configuration. What I'm choosing for this time is as many of these ballistas as we can, so 18 in total, 2 long-range GPS-guided cruise missiles, and just 2 of these AIM 9+, because the majority we're dealing in most of the time we're dealing with the ground targets. Full fuel. Let's get it on. This time we are taking off from an assault carrier, so it's a small carrier that doesn't have the catapult. And it's okay for the vertical takeoff planes such as AV-42C and this one.
Start. Contact tower for takeoff clearance.
ATC, this is India 11, requesting takeoff.
India 11, tower, cleared for takeoff at runway 30.
We have to be quick to take off, because otherwise we'll have to queue up and wait for everybody else. If you have any difficulty gaining altitude, adjust your tilt of the engine.
11 command, check your mission objectives. Complete them at your discretion, but make your priority to limit threats to the carrier group.
We can already follow the trace of the rockets, and we can find first 2 targets, the artillery targets. We're gonna use ballistas to take them down. Here 1. Okay. 1. And
this is command.
2.
Our estimate for the location of the enemy rocket artillery has been uploaded to GPS group mission 3. Check that area for targets.
We are now looking for the heat signatures of the others, but they will also be marked on our tactical display. So just keep an eye. Okay, there's one over there. Okay, actually 2 over there. So 1 and 2. Okay, we're gonna let the rockets do their thing. We're just gonna get out of the way for the time being. Save some fuel.
Altitude.
Let me just double check the camera. Yeah, it's all good. Smooth look. Form up.
Negative. Copy. Good hits. All enemy rocket launchers have been destroyed.
Okay. Let's go. So we're gonna head north. Actually west, sorry. So what we need to find is, we need to find the bunkers, which will be next to the airfield, and then send them the 2 long-range cruise missiles. And then once we do that, we can then deal with the bombers trying to take off. Okay, I think that's an airfield. Still a bit far. Okay, there it is. There are the bunkers. Oops.
India 1-1, enemy command and control targets confirmed. Destroy bunkers marked on GPS group mission 2.
Okay, so let's find mission 2. So we're gonna lead this group, and then we have, okay, so we're basically, they've set the GPS coordinates already, so we're just gonna fire the rockets.
Shoot.
These rockets don't have the auto mode, so you have to manually move, cycle through, and then let's do some damage to the airport. Okay. Ballistas. Attack my target.
Roger. Attacking the target. Engaging targets. This is command. Enemy bombers have been spotted taking off and moving to engage our carrier group. Destroy them on sight.
Missile launch.
Okay, we're not gonna mess with them now. We're gonna let the ballistas do damage, and then we'll take care of the rest.
Missile launch. Evading.
There is a rocket heading our way.
Damn it. It got me. I'm going down. Chat. Player T. Chat. Player T. Chat. Player E. Altitude.
What is important is is to keep the distance from the fleet and the drone aircrafts in that area.
India 1-1 command. Destruction of enemy C2 bunkers confirmed. Keep up the good work.
Altitude.
Okay, now we can see the ballistas. Ballistas are almost there. So let's do a strafing run with the gun, because we want to save some of the ballistas for the stealth fighters when we find them.
Good work. Enemy bomber threat has been eliminated.
Attack my target. Attack my target.
Copy. attacking your target.
Okay, very good. So
Missile launch.
let's head to the other side of the bay, just across the bridge. There should be another airfield with the 4 stealth fighters. Now we have the 4 ballistas. Okay, let's just get away from the anti-air defenses here. They're still in the area, so we have to be careful.
Pull up.
Oops.
Chopper flare. Chopper flare. Pull up. Flare altitude.
Missile defeated.
Chopper defense launch.
Ground attack missed.
Pull up. Altitude. Pull up.
Lots of air defenses in the area, so
Altitude.
try to be wise.
Altitude. Altitude. Missile altitude. 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 Altitude.
Defeated. Right.
Altitude. Missile launch.
Missile incoming. Defending.
So now the only objective left is the 4 stealth fighters,
Missile launch.
looking for an airfield.
Good. Missile inbound.
That should be it.
Shot. He's gone.
Okay,
I'm taking out the target.
Over T.
so let's get them on the ground.
Shoot.
1, 2.
Shoot.
3
Roger.
Pull up.
and 4.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Altitude. Altitude.
Okay, obviously I didn't hit all of them, so let's go back. We're gonna use the AIM-9 to shoot it, even when it's on the ground, because it still emits heat,
Over T.
and I think probably
Over
one.
T. Shoot. Shoot. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Command. All enemy stealth
Ooh,
fighters have
that
been
was
shot
close.
down.
Altitude.
India 1-1 command. You have completed all of your primary objectives.
Altitude.
Return to the assault carrier.
Altitude. Altitude launch.
Okay, so the mission is not over yet, because we need to go back. We need to go back to the base or to the assault carrier, and there is still a possibility of some anti-air defenses in the area. So be vigilant. And again, try to stay as far away from the fleet and its fighter and drone escort, because they are not our target, and they're not our target, and we can only lose from the engagement.
Altitude.
But we don't have much
Missile launch.
to fight with anyway.
Altitude.
Okay, let's drop some of the trash to make the landing a bit easier. Return to base.
Copy.
Okay, now we're pretty much in the safe zone. I think we got all the artillery. So this time, so when you approach the assault carrier, you can either do a full vertical takeoff, or you can do a slightly angled vertical, sorry, not takeoff, landing. So what I'm going to do is I'm not using VCAP this time. I'm going to be using just a 90-degree tilt, and I'm going to approach from the usual approach, and then just come in with a really low speed, definitely 150 kilometers or below. As I said, no arresting wires, so we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Okay, so that's our assault carrier. Okay, let's lose the speed. I should have started losing speed a lot earlier. My bad, I forgot. ATC, this is India 1-1 requesting vertical landing.
India 1-1 tower, copy. Fly heading 060. India 1-1 tower, clear to land on pad 03.
I like that the assault carrier is actually changing direction, which makes it very difficult to land. Okay, I'm not landing on this carrier. It maybe looks like that, but I'm not. I'm just trying to get the angle for the assault carrier. So the gear is down, we got the permission. The speed is good. Just make sure you keep the good altitude on the approach. Okay, now this guy is making it a very complicated thing. Okay.
Over T. Over T. Engine failure. Engine failure. Engine failure.
Okay, does this constitute a mission complete?
Engine failure.
Anyway,
Engine failure.
yeah, I mean I could repeat this. It's not a problem.
Engine
Just messed up a
failure.
little bit, but this is
Engine
it. So
failure.
this was the.
Engine failure.
Oh my God, you're so boring.
Engine failure. Engine failure.
Okay, what about this?
Engine Engine failure. Engine failure.
Okay, so that was the mission. We're enjoying a nice swim. Bye, guys. So that's it. That was the third mission. It's very short. You can see I did it in 15 minutes, so it's about 15 to 20 minutes. It looked very complicated when I just started it, but once you figure out where all the targets are, it's much easier. So that's it. Next, we'll tackle some of the teamwork missions. I thank you for watching the video, and I hope that the head motion was much better this time, that the graphics were way smoother. So let me know if that worked or didn't work, and see you next time.